for brown is? Brown is 1 B, 2 R's, 2 reds, and 3 yellows. 1, 2, 3. If I mix this in equal parts, I will get brown. 1 blue, 2 red, 3 yellows, I'm going to get a brown. Okay, so we know that the color wheel's in cool and warm, right? How many colors in brown sit on the cold side? 1. Blue. How many colors sit on the warm side? 5. Does brown have a temperature? Warm or cool? Warm. Yes. So if it has a temperature, it means there's color in it. It means there's something reflecting off of it. It means it cannot sit in the center because center has no color, right? Here's where brown would sit if it was on the color wheel. It would sit very close to center, but on the warm side. Can everybody see that, where brown sits? Close to center, because it's very muted, right? But a lot of times brown can have an undertone of copper, an undertone of gold, can't it? It's got a warmth to it. So brown is not in the center of the wheel. It has a temperature. It has a reflect. So those are all the categories of color. How do you guys feel about that? Is everybody good with that? Give me a yes in the chat box or an N if you need some clarity. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, if you need clarity, please do not hesitate to say. Awesome. Okay, so here's the thing. Now we got to figure out, we know all the categories of the color. Now we got to figure out, how do I move it? How do I change it on purpose? Now there are 5 ways that we can change color behind the chair as colorists. 5. And I'm going to put them here for time's sake. Yeah. So you guys can screenshot that if you'd like. 5 ways to move color. Can't see it? Hold on. Let me scooch it down a little bit. Jennifer, can you see that a little bit better? Can you see the demo screen at all, Jen? You can? Oh, you know what? Jen, you're on mute. So if you want to unmute yourself, you can tell me what you are having trouble seeing.
It's very blurry.
It's very blurry. All right, let me move it like this. Is that better? Okay, yes. All right, good. All right, good. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so the 5 ways that we generally move color behind the chair. The first way, we all do that every day, do we not? We neutralize. The second way is we can cool it. The third way is we desaturate or weaken. Another word is mute it. The 4th way is we enhance it. We go with the warmth. We don't fight it. And the 5th way is we create a natural brown. This one is going to come in handy if you work with fashion colors. And we're going to talk about how to do each one of those, okay? How do you do those with purpose? All right, first, can we define them? Would that help everybody to define what these even mean? Yeah. All right. Is this okay if I put it down, or are we still writing? You good? All right. If anybody needs me to put that up again, let me know. All right. So how do we do that? Let's just pick a color. Let's pick gold. Okay. If the hair in my chair is gold, if I'm going to neutralize gold, it means that I'm going to move the gold to the center of the wheel, meaning I won't see any warmth anymore and I won't see any cool. Neutral is in the middle, flat, no warm tone, no cool tone. Neutral's muddy. It's a muddy gray. Does that sound pretty? No, it doesn't. We'll talk about that in a minute. The second thing is we can take this gold and we can cool it. Here's how we would do it. We would actually move it past neutral to the cold side. So you got to move it past neutral, meaning you got to overcool it. We'll talk about how in a minute. The third one is, how do we mute it out? How do we desaturate it or weaken it? So let's say my gold is here. Instead of moving it to neutral where there's no reflection at all, I can actually just weaken it, pull it really close to the center if I want. So I can still see a tiny bit of warm, meaning it's not flat and it's not cold. It's just muted, more natural looking. I think we do this a lot behind the chair, because if I bring everything to neutral, it's pretty flat and muddy. A lot of times I think we say we neutralize, but what really we're weakening it, making it more natural looking, okay? Another way we can move this gold is we can enhance it. Okay, if that gold is just too gold, I want to soften it, I could add the color above it, which is yellow. Yellow will soften the gold. Or if I have gold and I want to intensify the gold, I can add a little bit of the orange below or copper, and I can intensify it. If I'm enhancing, I'm not fighting the warmth, I'm going with the warmth in either the direction above or the direction below. Okay? The fifth way is I could take this gold and I can actually bring it to a brown, a natural brown color. I can bring a fashion tone pink to a brown color. I don't have to bring everything to neutral and flat, because remember, does brown have reflect? Yes or no in the chat box. Does it have a temperature? Does it have reflect? Yes. Right. Does neutral have reflect? Is it warm or cold? Does neutral have reflect? No. So maybe I don't always want to bring things to neutral. Maybe I want to bring it to a brown or really mute it out, right? So it looks more natural. There's still some reflect in it. All right, so let's talk quickly about how we do all of those. I know we're at 2. Are you guys okay if we go a little further? I'm so sorry about going over. I try to kind of respect your time. This is how we do each of them. All right, so the first one is we neutralize. What do we do in order to neutralize something? If I have orange in the hair, what do I do? What do I add to neutralize? So to neutralize, right? So I add the complement, don't I? Oh, we didn't cover complement, but yes, we add the complement. The complement is the color on the opposite side of the wheel, right? The opposite side complement, when I put them next to each other in a head of hair, it will be the most contrast. But when I mix them together in equal parts, I get the center of the color wheel. Now, here's how the law of color tells us we create neutral. The law of color says, when I mix my primaries, blue, red, and yellow, in equal parts, I will create something in the center of the color wheel. What do we know that's the center of the color wheel? What color is that? Gray. So this is the formula for neutral. Blue, red, yellow. That's neutral, center of the color wheel. And when we neutralize, we add the opposites in equal amounts. Everybody hear me say equal. Neutral is equal. Everything has to be equal. Okay, if I'm not equal, I'm not getting neutral. So let's pick what you guys said, orange and blue. Okay, so if I use orange and blue together, why does complements work? Well, orange we know is, what is orange made of? R and what? Y. Remember on my color wheel, you saw orange is RY, right? And then we're going to add what color to it? To the contrasting color you said was? Tell me in the chat box. What was the contrasting? Blue. So blue is just B, right? If I add those in equal parts, what do you see here? Do you see B, R, Y? Yes, B, R, Y. What did I just make?